guys, got another one to show you here. We had talked about this watch for quite some time with Mike. Took a while to get the dial in on it. That was part of the main holdup, but once we had that, everything else went pretty smooth. Forgot to grab all the little extra stuff, so I figured I'd just grab it now. So Pontiac GTO build. So we've done a custom dial on this one. It's done in black and silver. And then what we did, threw some red hands on there, custom painted seconds hand. That's a ghosted seconds hand on there, black with a red dot. Brushed case. Got a brushed case on there with a more of a polished talc one bezel with a red drop-in minute insert. We did the Pontiac logo there on the crown. How well will it focus? Focuses well. We did it on two different straps here. We had the Pontiac logo there on the buckle for the engineered, which is also brushed, which will, I don't know why my phone won't focus on that. Just decides it wants to focus on something out in left field there. So brushed. Now this is it's got quick disconnects on that one, so you can pop this one on and off decently quick. Now with this black Horween, where we've thrown the Pontiac logos in there, we've laser etched those on there. Now if you're wanting to pop this one off, my suggestion would be go from the back and kind of pinch down with your fingers till you see that. There. Then use your piece there and wedge it off. You just don't want to use the leather too much as the focal point there on getting that part out. But so black Horween, red stitching, got a brushed buckle on here, and then large window exhibition case back, black rotor, stainless steel movement holder. And then we laser etch that for him, little personal dates on there for him. So that is the build as a whole. Bezels on this platform can turn left, they can turn right, they do not click. They're just unidirectional bezels that are held on with a tension ring. This is an automatic mechanical, so you can wear it, you can put it in a winder, or you can wind it yourself. So how that works is you'll back your threads off, back your crown off your thread tips until you hear it clicking. At that point, where you haven't pulled it or anything like that, you're in the wind position. So a wind is a turn away from you this direction. Backwards does nothing, but it's a lot easier to keep your spacing with your fingers and go back and forth like this. If you do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, even if you're not very active, you will keep time. So if you're going to be driving or sitting at a desk or something like that where you're not going to be moving around too much, you might want to do that even if it is already running, just to make sure you don't lose time throughout the day. Because if you're not moving around that much, you're not bouncing that router or rotor around, you're not going to be doing much there. So pre-wind it just a little bit. If you do it for something closer to like 20-25 seconds, like what I do whenever I put them down at night, to make sure they're running the next day, you're going to get your 31-hour power reserve. It's minimum 31-hour power reserve. I've seen them go for super, super long times, but it's minimally 31 hours. 20-25 seconds worth of winding back and forth will do that. You bolt to the one end only click, you can now set your time. So it's not a hacking movement, so it's going to keep going. And you'll notice you've got a wobble crown. This deflects lateral pressure against going into that stem and into the movement. So it's kind of like a ball joint deflecting that. But so that I'm not bouncing it back and forth myself, I kind of just pull it back and put tension on it as I spin it. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 1:05 p.m.
1:05 p.m. It also makes it nice and easy to push back over and thread back down. So you can go from winding it to setting the time, but not setting the time back to winding it. You'll have to thread it back down and reset that clutch in there to where you can go back out. So 1:05 p.m. There we are. There's your build as a whole, sir. I'm sorry it took so long getting it together, but I think it came out pretty freaking awesome, very unique. I think it looks great. So, like I showed you before, just pinch down a little bit. You want to pinch down just a little bit so you can get to that spring bar to do it. Now, on these ones with your quick disconnect, all you'll have to do is pull this lever down, and it, which I'm spinning it as I'm trying to show you, it will drop that, and then you can pop that band right off whenever you have it on the stainless steel. So, once again, the stainless steel, your Pontiac logo right there. If you ever get a nick in this, which I don't tell too many people this, same thing with your case. If you ever get a nick in your case anywhere, just use the green side of a Scotch-Brite and brush in one direction and just feather it in. You'll never notice it. So just feather it in. Same thing on this. If you get it on here, now this is brush too. You can see the brush marks, but you can literally, if you get it on that, sometimes I get these and they already have nicks in them. So not taking enough there, you can kind of hold it against your, kind of hold it and just take that and brush it, right? So you can get that part easily enough. Because sometimes if you do it with it together, you're going to get like little pieces and stuff like that. And sometimes you want to kind of make sure that you're not doing it on that. If you're one of those guys, you want to make sure it's not on that too. You can literally pop it and then you can pull that down, right? Because now this piece isn't under it, blocking this from getting out of your way. Go right here and take your Scotch-Brite and just go in one direction. Don't go back and forth. You'll start getting lines crazy on there. Just go in one direction and you'll brush it down. So that's all you got to do, I promise. That's the quick and easy to do it on a brushed. So same thing on this right here. You would do that. You'd round it. If you get it on the side, just go straight across. Now your bezel is polished, so that's it. Even if you nick that, you probably wouldn't even see it just by the way it's done up. But same thing on the crown, just go one direction. If you do something on there, just pull it down, or whatever you think looks cool against your, if you want to put brush marks, whatever you think looks cool against it. So that's one way to make sure it's always looking perfect. Same thing on your buckle at the bottom, just one direction. So that's it, man. I hope you like your build. It's going to come with matching beads. Whether you want to be cool and wear them is entirely up to you, but they will be there. I think they're sized to about 7. If they're too big, put them on the bottom side of your wrist, or I'm sorry, put them on the back side of your wrist if it's too big. If that's one way to do it. People always ask, which side of the watch should I wear it on? These are glass beads, so it's not going to tear up your watch regardless. But if they're a little too big, put them on the back side. Then they won't jingle around that much, and they'll be on like a thicker part of your wrist. That's all. This will come in a BBW Special Edition box, gray box. You're going to have with it watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts, which is basically if you had this on this instead, this would be good on the whole watch. It's non-streaky, non-toxic, non-residue. You're also going to have some leather conditioner. That keeps this leather super, super soft. Just apply it on there, let it soak in. This will keep it nice and soft and pliable as it is now. But over time, it can get a little tougher or rough feeling. Apply some on the back side, apply some on the front side. There's enough in here to last your strap. So don't go ape with it. There's a bunch. I mean, it might not look like there's a lot, but you put it on there and start wiping it, and you're going to go, oh, this covers a lot. So that will be in there too. And then lastly, you're going to have some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon repackaged. It's essentially like a poly watch. This is an acrylic glass, and you can scratch it. If you do, put a tiny bit on there and buff against that scratch, filling that scratch. Generate some heat with your thumb using your microfiber, and only use what you need because you're just filling a scratch. The rest is going to soak into that rag. It's going to get pushed under your bezel. Just put a tiny, tiny bit on there. This will last as long as your watch. And if you buy more watches from me, I probably wouldn't even need to send you more of this. You'd have enough to cover those watches as well. I promise you, you just need a tiny bit. When you put it on there, it's going to feel like pledge on wood. It's going to be super slick and kind of have a different kind of feel to it. But that's what's in there as well. And thank you so much for waiting this out, man. Your build and warranty cards will come to you a little bit separate. I was so concerned with getting your watch, I forgot to order your build and warranty cards. So this will come to you a little bit separately and a little bit later down the road. but in a couple weeks or so. But thank you so much for having your patience and us finally getting this build together. If you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see builds like this, like and subscribe as I put up videos all the time. Thanks for hanging out, guys.